Welcome in, everybody. My name is All Funny Games. I stream every day on Twitch TV, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit interesting. So a lot of people have been asking, okay, you released your survival guide, and that was awesome, and it was a step-by-step, but some people are just asking for a simple way on how to survive for one day in Don't Starve Together. So let's do that. I'm going to make videos that showcase how to survive for just one single day. This is for the very first day that you get into Don't Starve Together to at least get you accustomed to what you probably should be doing. Now, keep in mind, everybody has their own different ways of doing things, so you don't have to copy me specifically. But that being said, if you do feel like you want to kind of follow my guide, feel free. I mean, I'm going to basically try to walk you through it. And of course, it's going to be an 8-minute video because that's how long every day is in Don't Starve Together. So feel free to walk alongside me. And for the sake of the video, I'm probably going to choose a character like Wendy. Some of you guys can probably choose maybe Wilson or something. But for the sake of the video alone, I'm going to go with my heart on this one, and I'm going to choose Wendy. Now, there's a reason why I'm doing that, because I do think that Wendy is probably one of the best starter characters out there. But then again, it's entirely up to you. So you can choose whatever character you think works best, whether you've went ahead and done some research or you've tested around and that's what you like. But I want to showcase at least what I do on day one in DST. So first things first, if you've loaded up your world, I usually choose endless. If you want to choose survival, you can. There's a difference between them as well. And I'm going to make a video on that because I know people have asked me those questions too, on what the difference is on each of those. Okay, so we're in the world. I'm going to choose Wendy, and I'll just go with whatever skin that I had before. And of course, to start, let's get Abigail out. As soon as Abigail gets out, I'm going to do something that a lot of people probably are against, and that is going to be making Abigail riled up. So you're probably wondering, why? Why am I doing this? Well, okay. The reason why I'm actually decided that I want to have Abigail riled up is because every time I walk near a butterfly, I want Abigail to be able to kill it right away for me. I don't want to have to wait around. I don't want to have to do that myself, meaning I don't want to have to go over to a butterfly and attack it. I want Abigail to do that work for me. Now, if I find myself running close to any enemies like spiders or anything along those lines, I obviously want to try to have Abigail avoid that at all costs. But keep in mind, when you first join into DST day one, all spider nests are all going to be tier 1, so you're not going to necessarily have to worry about Abigail getting herself into too much trouble. So ideally, as long as you stay away from a lot of frogs, you should be fine. But even then, you're going to notice if you're going to be approaching any frog ponds and all that stuff. So let's explain what I'm doing. So before I get too crazy, I'm obviously approaching and getting a ton of grass, a ton of flint, and a bunch of carrots whenever I find. So keep in mind, you can leave some carrots in the ground. So as long as carrots are left in the ground, they're not going to decay. They're going to stay there forever because obviously they're carrots. And as soon as you pluck them, that's when they begin to start to, well, I guess you can say they begin to start to rot and go stale, and then eventually they do turn from rot. Now, that does take a while for that to happen, but nonetheless, day one, it is nice to just walk around and gather what you can. So I usually like to pick some of the carrots, but you don't necessarily need to do that if you don't want. So I'm getting basically the bare essentials of things here. I'm getting grass, I'm getting twigs, and I'm getting any type of flint that I can find as well. And then as I'm finding flint, I'm also looking on the map to see if I can find some boulders. And boulders are really good to get as well. Now, some people might say to you, okay, what are you doing? You should be exploring the entire map. You should go on the full outskirts. But if you just started playing DST, probably the best route is to avoid doing that, only because you might get a little bit too lost in trying to explore the map rather than gathering resources along the way. So I would probably suggest just, if you want to explore the entire outskirts of the map, and when I say outskirts, I mean all of the outlines of the map. So what that does is it gives you an idea of how your world is looking before basically settling in for a place to live. But for now, I'm just going to showcase how to survive day one, which is actually fairly simple. Ideally, you can survive pretty much, up to, I want to say, before you start to have to worry about armor and stuff, I'd probably say about day 5, because generally speaking, hounds are going to start to come shortly after that. So you want to make sure that you are a little bit set up anyways. So yes, as long as you are just having a torch, you should be okay, as long as you're not getting yourself into any battles with anything close by, like a beefalo or something, which you shouldn't really be doing that anyways. So nonetheless, I have a little bit of food here already. I have some seeds. I have whatever else. Now, seeds and stuff, like if you find them, you can eat them. No reason to keep them if you're just messing around a little bit. Obviously, carrots uncooked are awesome. Cooked carrots are good too, but they only supply a little bit of healing. But uncooked carrots are amazing. They give you 12.5 hunger, so just by doing it naturally. So cooking them doesn't give you an ounce of anything higher than that. However, if you do get a berry or two, a berry cooked is much better than an uncooked berry. So just remember that if you're venturing around. Okay, so I did manage to get myself a little bit of flint. So the first thing I'm going to be making is a pickaxe. Now, a lot of people might be like, well, no, you should be making an axe instead. No, a pickaxe is the best way to do it because a pickaxe will get you more flint. In a world where you don't have a lot of flint to start, the only way to get more flint is by taking out some of these boulders, and that's how you do it. So you want to make sure that if you're making, the first thing you make is going to be a pickaxe. Okay, unless you found a crazy amount of rocks already. Luckily, maybe you would. I don't think you will though. So just always make a pickaxe first, and then later on you can get more flint that way and more rocks, etc., etc. So as we venture around, I'm going to keep getting all the flint I can, and now I don't have to worry about any more butterflies because of course they're not going to come out at dusk or at nighttime. So I'm just going to continue to just venture around as it starts to get a little bit darker. Now, I'm going to do something interesting here at nighttime, and you're probably going to wonder like why I'm doing this, but I'm probably going to make a torch, and instead of holding the torch around and walking around, I'm most likely going to set a small portion of a forest on fire. So just a very tiny little area that I feel like it won't spread very far, and I think this is going to be it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little fire, and I'm just going to go like this, go like this. I don't care if these little twigs burn up or anything like that. It's not a big deal to do this, and there's a reason why I'm doing this. And as soon as you do that and you basically set on what you want, you just walk away. Now the fire will stop spreading as soon as I go away, and only those trees will burn. And I'm going to show you in a second why I wanted that as we get through the point of showing. Now, I'm going to get to these ones to mine up because these are obviously the ones that have a little bit of gold in them. So make sure that you're getting these ones as well because you're going to need them in just a second. So the reason why I went ahead and I decided that I wanted to burn up a tree is because I wanted that tree to turn into charcoal. And as soon as the tree turns into charcoal, I'm going to gather that charcoal by chopping it in order to make my very first crockpot, which is usually done by like day 2. So that kind of just gets things started. Now, the reason why I said when you walk off screen, what do you mean by what do I mean by walk off screen? So here they're burning up over here, right? But if you're off the screen, fire cannot spread. It's basically the reason why Don't Starve Together makes it so fire can't spread when you're off screen. It's to reduce lag. Otherwise, if you set a forest here on fire, the entire forest would catch fire and everyone would complain, not only from lag, but also just for the sake of griefing. So in this situation, Clay has made it so as long as you're off screen, it won't. So when we go back, only those, I think it was 6 trees, maybe 7 trees have caught on fire, and it's burned exactly how many trees I've wanted to burn up. Okay, so we've gotten the rocks, we've gotten the trees. Now, what do we need next? We need to get ourselves an actual little bit of wood, and just before dusk hits, we should be able to do that. Now, if we don't manage to do that, that's okay. Like I said, I'm basically just going to showcase you day 1, and then you can kind of continue on from there. If you enjoy this video, though, and you want me to keep doing day by day, I can definitely do that in a series. I know that I did an entire series of beginner guides, but I have had a lot of requests for people saying, I don't know what to do after to survive day 1, so could you please help me? And this is a perfect video to do so. So I think that step by step, people are able to kind of walk through and decide if they want to watch me or what exactly they want to do in this case. So so I have my torch in my hand, and now that I've gathered my gold and I've gathered my wood, I am actually 1 wood short, but that's okay. I will walk over to where I've burned up these trees, and sure enough, we have our charcoal already. So if you have a larger tree, some charcoal will actually fall on the ground too. But as you can tell, only portions of this have caught on fire. The little tiny ones over here did not, because we walked away and the fire spread stopped. We can still gather this little berry bush. That kind of shows you exactly what I'm referring to. So yeah, I would also suggest, if you are going to be eating the items that you pick up, leave your butterflies for when you need healing, because butterflies heal you for a lot. They heal you for 8 every single time. So that's why, if you're wondering why I'm not eating my butterflies, that's the exact reason why I'm doing so. And in 2 seconds, we should be able to continue on doing what we're doing. So while it's nighttime, I'm just going to finish chopping this tree, and that will end our video, and we can continue on. Like I said, if you enjoy this video and you want to see more of it, please let me know. And just right after day 1, we've now made our science machine. Voila. And of course, we made ourselves our handy dandy fire, but we need 1 more log. So let's go ahead and just chop this up before I end this video so I can showcase exactly what our little awesome little base is going to look like. And like I said, sometimes if you are a little bit quicker or a little bit slower than me, it doesn't matter. Everyone needs to go at their own pace, so don't feel rushed if you're like, okay, I'm so confused. Why is it taking so long for me to do this when it looked like it was so easy for him? Don't worry about that. So now we have a science machine, we have a fire pit, and the last thing that we got to make ourselves before day 2 is a handy dandy little backpack, which we can store all of our fun stuff in and make a little bit more organized of our stuff. So now we have lots of resources, or enough anyways, and we can continue on to day 2. So have a good one. Thanks again for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and comment down below if it helped you in any way. And of course, if you want me to make a day 2 video, let me know. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next video.